been living under a rock for the past decade, or were you just locked inside your room for some mysterious, world-altering reason? Anyways, anime managed to sneak into the mainstream. It kicked the door down, sat on the couch, and now refuses to leave. But if you grew up watching anime, you know this wasn't always the case. Before anime was cool, before all its peak animation, being an anime fan meant being the rock bottom of your school's social ladder. You were mysterious. You weren't cool. What's another word for cool? Oh yeah, that'll work.
Fresh.
You were one of those weird kids, stuffed in lockers, being made fun of for your interest. Definition of average trash. Ready to live the rest of your life alone. Basically your average isekai protagonist. You know, I'm starting to see a connection here as to why I like them. But I mean though, can you blame them? I 100% know you'd be Naruto running everywhere. And at that point, my young self deserved a nice, good punt across the playground. Anime was known for being weird. Something that a normal person wouldn't be caught watching. It felt like you had to hide your secret love just to survive. I'm sorry, Spike. The world just wasn't ready for you. Now, don't get me started on how hard it was to watch anime in the first place. It was an entire military operation just to tame any form to watch it. For my case, I would have to pretend to be asleep, crawl through obstacles in the living room, and try to catch the news rerun of Dragon Ball, Sailor Moon, Voltron, just about anything that happens to be airing. I didn't have any choice in the matter, and I didn't care. Missed an episode. Too bad. I gotta be confused for next time I try to attempt this journey. More intellectual individuals who didn't want to ruin their sleep schedule would try to find a physical medium to get that anime itch out. This could be the DVD with that weird international dub, a VHS. Are you even the heck old enough to have seen one of these? Or, if you're extremely lucky, slowly download a low-quality torrent release.
So did you just feel instinctively like the drums were for you?
Then came a turning point in the industry. The release of the big three: Naruto, Bleach, One Piece. The format started to see traction in the West. You could actually make a friend with this interest. You just had to out yourself as an anime fan. But at least if you were isolated to the pits of hell, you had a friend suffering right beside you. With more and more anime shows being released, accessibility was still a problem. I mean, it would be lovely not being able to risk getting 17 viruses, waiting ages for a minuscule chance of a DVD release, or watching anime at 360p split into 9 YouTube parts just to be able to watch thighs like a normal person. Here, we start seeing official streaming companies start popping up: Netflix, Crunchyroll, Funimation, Anime Network. They were all looking at the stats and the potential of anime in the West, putting their hat in a ring to be the go-to website for new anime watchers. Though, as a broke middle school student, it was still easier to go on Kids Anime or GoGo Anime to watch the next episode school days. Which of course I would never do. I would never pirate anything. Who would ever condone the use of piracy? Not me. But the lack of risk, the less mills in my area, and the ease of accessibility did open up the concept of legal anime watchers. This was the birthplace of Isekai Wave. The core concept gave the series an easy way to blend into gaming culture and find its niche. The sweeping soundtrack, the polished visuals, the use of VR, the incest made it all a straightforward gateway for people to start the genre, paving the way for later Isekais, eventually growing into an uncontrollable viral force that still floods the industry to this day. I mean, have you caught up with every OP pro tag? And let's be honest, the countless amazing fan service shots.
No! Go to horny jail.
Now, Attack on Titan really exploded this conversation about anime not being just cringe, but an actual art form to admire and consume. With its breathtaking story, animation, the mature emotional intensity, it really cemented itself as a popular talking point for anime in the mainstream. The brutality of the first episode was something no one was prepared for. The intensity was iconic and created an explosion in reaction videos. People who never watched anime were all talking about AOT. I'm gonna have to take my script at face value. I kinda dropped it season 1 to watch the second season of Oreo. Worth it! Now, the internet did what it does best. It memed anime into every nook and cranny of your online life. Anime wasn't just a weird niche anymore. You see, there's an entire culture of people who enjoy the same medium as you do. You have creators like the Anime Man, the Virginian himself, C-Dog, and Grant help introduce this culture to a wider audience. The blend of humor, analysis, entertainment, and exploration in the culture helped others learn more about the media. This is a start where more questionable clips that are well known that shows the more interesting parts of anime and what people think about. The tentacles, your 3,000-year-old lolly. We had all those, but we also had a book that could kill people. Gay swimmers, but don't really care about those. You know, this doesn't help my case. Anime was on its climb, releasing more and more bangers. Slowly, people start seeing what was great about it. In the early and mid 2010s, we see a flood of great shows like Kill la Kill, Space Dandy, Your Lie in April, Seven Deadly Sins, Assassination Class, and for every one of these bangers, we always did have a moe anime with its weird archetypes, though it always had great animation and art. And for each of these shows, you know we always had to have a bone daddy, a trauma speedrunner, the war crime lolly, and gender equality. Are you starting to see a pattern here? The release of My Hero Academia cemented itself as the new shonen to watch for the next generation of fans, and it did not disappoint. Coming out during the superhero craze gave it a sense of familiarity, a nothing kid in a world of powers, and isn't afraid to break himself to make it happen. That really resonated with people. Anime has multiple styles, but shonen will and always will be the lead in popularity. This led up to the release of Demon Slayer, pushing production quality of woes meant to be animated by divine beings. It flowed like moving paintings. Every frame looked like it could be a desktop wallpaper with all these bangers after bangers after bangers. It was an eventuality that a wider audience would see it all. And then the world came to a standstill. No going out, no social life, no game, no life. Suddenly, people had a lot of time on their hands. There wasn't anything else to do but to check out that cringe show your friend was talking about. TikToks, YouTube Shorts, AMV, anime edits pushed this even further. People wanted to understand it, and anime exploded just as much as cases did. This created more memes, more interest for anime and Japanese culture as a whole. People who knew nothing about it were getting exposed to it left and right. We had the ultimate shark,
Nerd.
the festy Latina, the cutest doggo,
Eating Mike Tyson's ass. Oh no!
Anime in some form was everywhere. You can escape it no matter where you look in media. It's even in the Dodgers. You can't run away. You can't run away. Now, locked away and with nothing to do. What are anime fans to do? Start shamelessly marketing our Fox maid? Watch streamers, of course.
Hello, I'm Tomoe Mari, professional fisherwoman. I am a very calm and whimsical individual. There is no anger in my heart, merely joy and happy feelings. Motherfucker, where's this fish at?
While anime is getting popularity to a great extent, VTubers started to see our eyes as well. Countless people with an ungodly amount of time in their hands aren't just going to be watching anime. They're going to be wanting to look at their fictional female characters. So instead of spending all your money on a PNG and a gacha game, you're able to spend all your money on your real life Oshi instead.
Eating Mike Tyson's ass. No.
Crunchyroll has over 15 million paid users, and this is just coming from 2024 statistics. Imagine how big it is now. They've been dominating the anime industry since 2014, though I'd say it has a big rival at the moment that's been collecting, planning, and storing for a couple decades. Netflix, absolutely demolishing all their IPs, making more of an anime aesthetic. Castlevania, Tomb Raiders, Devil May Cry. This does create a bit of an issue at hand with the mainstream of anime. There's less quality work being created. You can spend hours scrolling through your My Anime list just to find that the number of seasonal anime releases have more than doubled since the early years. Though, I'd say with the total release of like 100 plus isekais, I'm not really complaining. This does become a problem trying to differentiate quality work versus the sake of just checking off a box to be popular. It was already difficult to find those pieces of work to get it to that level to be animated if they weren't already checking off those boxes. It becomes harder and harder to find something unique, something that hasn't been told, or something that isn't watered down to fit with the status of a Western audience. We want anime to keep its weirdness. We want it to keep the uniqueness, the parts that makes us stare, because that's what made us like it in the first place. But at least with more and more anime being released every season, the truly good ones really do stand out. So yeah, anime is mainstream now and has been for quite a while. Most of it is still as weird as it always was, but at least now I don't need to hide myself if I just happen to enjoy watching it, which means somewhere out there, there's a kid hiding their love for live action adaptations the same way we hid about anime. And honestly, they deserve that. You don't mess with perfection. Though live action One Piece just give me hope for the future. Yeah, we'll go by a case scenario.